Oh, there we are. It's Versus. This is episode 62, I think. Who's counting when you're having this much fun? I'm John Maher. That's Will Cohen. Well, how you feeling this week?
I'm overall, like, let's put it this way. When I'm not thinking about this movie, I'm actually really good.
Yeah.
But then when I think about this movie, and I watched this early in the week, I watched this earlier than I typically do. And holy hell, I have questions, I think.
Yeah. It's like this movie feels like it's somebody's master's project for like a small liberal arts college, I would guess. It's like, I want to teach you about the social sciences, but I also love vampires. How do I take my two interests and meld them together so that we can enjoy it? And also the person doesn't know how to make anything enjoyable. But anyway, if that's piqued your interest, let me introduce you to Blood Immortal.
I often wonder why he puts us through these hardships. Our stock won't grow. Father is dead, and you're very sick. I pray, and I ask for his help. But all there is greater suffering.
My name is Bernard Duncan with the United States Treasury.
What exactly are you proposing?
I could sense that you would die.
Evil spirits at you.
I could make you immortal. From now on, you will live forever.
I say never deny her mate.
We are individuals of the night.
What's your name?
We thrive on human blood.
I really enjoy your lectures. I'm so alone.
We are not demons.
It's not your fault this world is collapsing.
Ooh, there's nothing out there, man.
And this world is a cesspool. We must never hold any regrets.
How do you feel?
What have you done?
People will always be desperate. People will always be sick. People will always be hungry.
You don't have any more blood.
That's like the whole movie. Like they somehow crammed the whole movie into that minute and a half trailer, which is like better than the movie. But
I mean, definitely I will say this about the guy who cut the trailer. If I actually saw that trailer, I actually want to see this movie just out of sheer curiosity.
Yeah.
But we saw the trailer we saw the movie without seeing the trailer.
Yeah.
And well, so John, I have a question for you. I don't know if you had the same thought I did after this, but I'm going to share my immediate thought. My immediate thought after this is, did Ryan Coogler happen to stumble upon this and decide, hey, I bet I can do this movie better, and that's how we got Sinners?
I wouldn't be surprised, because there's definitely there are similar themes in this and Sinners, which is a crazy fucking thing to say. It's an insane thing to say.
But literally, you have vampirism, check. Socioeconomics, check. Like, period.
American history, check.
Like it spans multiple generations. Yeah. Check. It's really psychotic to think about, and I was not okay after. Like I said, this is the reason I wasn't okay, because the fact that we got the good version of this year, and then watching this makes this film like suck worse by proxy. I didn't score it. I think I scored it fairly, like on an objective level, and we'll when we get discuss that later. But at the same time, that screwed me up more than I think it should have because of that fact.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, and now you've upset me. But like, yeah, not that this movie deserves a synopsis, but like, I'll give it to you. Like, this movie is like, it's divided into chapters. Like, the thing that's like so bothersome is like, the director gave a shit. The director really cared. You can tell they cared so much about this topic. Like the care that was taken into like storyboarding this movie. I wish that carried through every other aspect of the filmmaking because the storyboarding is fantastic. Everything else is just like mediocre to bad.
Now, did the director write this? That's my big question. Did the director write this? Because it's very clear that the writer cared for sure. If it's the same guy, then this guy.
I don't have that information. I'll look it up while you keep talking. Go ahead.
But if it is a different writer, I could see like this guy, like the writer, clearly like putting his heart and soul into this, and then they hand it off to a director who just.
He did write it. Him and somebody else wrote it. Robert Joseph Butler is the writer, and then somebody else just kind of punched it up. But he wrote it and he directed it.
Or here's what I'm going to postulate. Which I'm going to throw the conspiracy theory out there. The guy who's credited as the guy who's credited as the second guy. He's the guy who actually wrote the script. The director put his name on it.
Maybe.
That's my theory, because this script is actually really interesting. The fact that they had these through these multiple generations, and you're seeing like the struggles of the American people. You're seeing the struggles through the eyes of vampirism, which that's such a fucking weird sentence to say, but here we are. But
the funny thing is, like, what I was thinking of when I was watching it, I was like, True Blood did this way better.
That's fair.
like the effects of like world economics, the effects of environmentalism on vampires. If you're interested in that, just watch True Blood. They did it. This is doing it like some middle school project, pretty much.
I feel like this came from like a term paper that this guy tried to hand in. He probably got like a D+ on it and decided, hey, but this is going to be real bitchin' script. And he's not wrong. Again, there's a lot of ideas here that work on paper, but they are executed piss poorly. But that's ITN's thing, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I guess this is like earlier stage ITN because this is clearly an American movie. And Richard Tyson shows up. Hey, good to see you, buddy.
What happened to your horse?
We're a long way from 3 o'clock high. But yes. Anyway, like you have the post-Revolutionary War segment where the mom has a consumption or some bullshit. And like everything's getting all fucked up, and then the vampire shows up. But I don't know how a vampire gets a job as like a land speculator, but I digress.
The government wants to name this territory Michigania. The ordinance divides these territories into townships.
I mean, we don't actually know that he is a land speculator. He's just saying he's a land speculator, but it's a weird thing to also lie about.
Yeah, true. Because he clearly like in the beginning just kills that girl on the side of the road because vampirism. And that's good blood because we haven't started polluting the Industrial Revolution. It hasn't fully taken effect yet for us to start killing ourselves, and vampires don't want to eat us anymore. And then like he's just like he could just go whatever, but he decides to turn the mom because she has consumption. And then the mom and the daughter kill him. I don't understand. I guess the vampire rules were also kind of fucked up because they kill him with like looks like the tip of a giant fountain pen. I don't know what the fuck it is. And also there's at least 2 scenes where like vampires are in sunlight, sort of. Like the very beginning and the very end, they're walking and the sun is out.
So, I mean, like, I guess if this is like a multi-generational thing, then I guess like Blade rules kind of apply where like it's like vampire evolution.
But he also tells her the rules. Like, they do abide by the rules. Like, he had to be invited into their house. He tells her she'll never see the sun again.
But you will never see the sun again.
Which is a lie, because she definitely sees the sun at the end of the movie. And it's not affecting her at all. Whatever. That's chapter 1. And they just, the time jumps weird. He mentions he has a daughter. Then we jump to the daughter, but now the daughter's living in like modern times.
Right.
She's a college student, but I guess not. She's like got to be auditing the classes, because I don't understand how a woman who's hundreds of years old enrolls in a college, and she talks as if she's hundreds of years old, and like people just take her at face value because she's talking about living through the 30s. Everyone's like,
evidence that those policies prolonged the agony of the Great Depression. I saw so much suffering during that time that could have been alleviated by liquidating the debt so that inflation wasn't allowed to escalate.
Interesting.
But they're also making fun of her for it.
Right, but they don't call her out. They just make fun of her, but then she like has all this knowledge. And like the weird thing is, you're right, whoever did this part clearly took macroeconomics and it's just like, this is what I learned and you're going to learn it too.
I'll give an example. When the US economy hit bottom following the collapse of 2009, quantitative easing was introduced, or QE. Now, granted, it was unconventional in its approach, but it was the exact catalyst that was required to stimulate the economy.
And they cram all of it into the movie.
You see, the guy, I feel like the guy who decided that this was a good idea was like the guy that Will Hunting was making fun of in Good Will Hunting.
Yes.
Like, you're gonna come back next year and you're gonna be talking about Gordon Wood, like this is that motherfucker who like,
yes,
who had the girl stolen from him. That's who this motherfucker is.
This movie's like an hour. This movie's like an hour and 40 something minutes long. If you took out all the economic lectures, this movie would probably be an hour and 15 minutes. Like, easy.
I mean, and that's even on the long end. I feel like if you took out like really all of like the weird economic and like socioeconomic things out there, you're getting a much shorter film.
Yeah. That part of the film with the daughter Fiona, now she is like this quasi college student, whatever. There's a lonely economics professor lady. They have like I'll say romance. Whatever. But like we're also finding out that like Fiona's having difficulties because eating these modern humans, drinking blood from these modern humans is just bad.
It's slowly killing them.
Yeah.
But they never really explain why.
I guess it's just because microplastics and all this bullshit. Like you just can assume like we're just not healthy. We're not as healthy as we were back when we were unhealthy. But they somehow have a pipeline to clean blood. Like they're just buying blood from like blood banks and shit. There's so many weird little things. And I love the fact that like she has the one friend who gives her the supplier and we never see her again.
The sensitivities are returning.
Here, try this.
How fresh is this?
This type O negative.
And then she's meeting with the supplier, but she's having trouble making ends meet. So she's apparently like fucking the blood dealer. And then one day he like tries to just get rapey with her again, and she just kills him.
But this has value to me.
Therefore, fucking herself over because that was the only place she was getting blood from.
And plus, he's unhealthy, and which means that she is now slowly killing herself too.
Yeah, and then like that story also just kind of ends. We don't really know what happens to Fiona. She just is fucked.
About adding $1 million a minute to the debt. That's what happens. We borrow $1 million a minute.
And then we jump ahead to the future, and now we're in the full economic post-apocalyptic downfall of American society where they're having like bum fights. And fucking everyone's living in poverty. And
please just stop.
No. I need you to mind your business. I need you to get the fuck off my properties. That's what I need.
What?
I need you to get the fuck off of my property.
I think they're all humans because they find out that like the vampires, because it's kind of like the True Blood thing. Like they're trading in these old coins that they would have carried forward from like the 18th century. So like they're worth money. So then these three people like decide they're going to raid the apartment.
What the hell is going on in here? Where are the coins?
Calm down.
And like get the coins, even though the daughter is sick. Everybody's fucking like. It's basically the moral of the story is, whereas humans go, vampires go with us. I guess it's like if we're fucked, they're fucked. And then in typical ITN fashion, the movie just fucking ends.
Yeah, let this be a lesson. First of all, do not watch an ITN movie at 1:00 in the morning because the film is going to make less sense than it typically would. But yeah, it's like this last chapter is where everything completely falls apart.
Yeah, Josephine like fights off one of the three robbers kills the black guy who's one of the crew, and then she kills the other two people, and then she just stares out in the distance as the sun is coming up at a farmhouse. And then the fucking movie ends.
Like, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't also like start that way before it says chapter 1, where like she's like looking out and like staring out into the distance?
Probably.
Artistic.
Artistic.
I mean, I might also be thinking about like the screenshot I saw on Tubi, because it definitely is that on Tubi, where it's like it's her staring off into the distance. This film, again. This film has a lot of great ideas, but it's just structured incredibly poorly, and it gets to the point that there's almost nothing to talk about.
Yeah, it's boring. It's not bad. It's just boring, and there's like a lot of dumb shit. It's not dumb like ITM bad dumb. It's just dumb like what the fuck. Like, there's a whole scene in the second chapter where like Fiona goes to a club and just murders a woman on the dance floor and walks out of the club. It's like that would never fucking happen.
I mean, I think I could have sworn that she was out, just like she managed to lure her into the alley, but that's a crowd.
That's the first girl. The second girl, she kills her like in the club while people are around.
You're right.
Yeah, it's like, okay, like there's a lot. The decisions were made, and are they bad? Yes, they're bad. Are they horrible? No, they're just bad. So, like, it's kind of a relief for us on this show to have a movie that's just bad, I guess, and not fucking horrible. So it's just bad. Hooray! I guess it's time for this. I'll go first. I think we rated it the same again.
So,
yeah, like nothing. Okay, honestly, practical effects are not great, but they're not bad. They're just like the kind of practical effects like a really great high school production could put on. So that's cool. It's not offensive. There's no bad CGI in this movie. They paid Richard Tyson for 5 minutes of his time. Like, all right, I'm okay with giving it 2. Well,
I also gave this 2 for a lot of the reasons that I mentioned earlier. Like, again, most of these ITN films, like the idea is bad, the execution is bad, the acting is atrocious. But here, there's actually some performances that aren't terrible. There's nothing that's good, but at least some of the actors were trying. Some. Not any of the.
I would say I would say as far as the acting goes, none of it's bad.
No,
it's just not great.
And again, like at least a third, if not 2/3 of the script are interesting enough to keep you invested. Now that third act makes no fucking sense whatsoever, and if
It's
if
the
you
future of America.
If you were just to like shut it off at that point, then fine. But again, when you see, like, if you do see this film, and this is one of, this is one, usually we recommend you don't watch these, but ironically, I will actually recommend you do see this one because there's enough interesting shit in here. And also you have to like watch this before watching Sinners, either a first or second time, and you will literally see what we're talking about. It will drive you insane, but it's there.
I agree. That'll do it for Versus this week. If you made this far in the video, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Go to the Facebook group at Why We Love Horror. And then also go on over to the Letterboxd challenge. Do that. We'd appreciate it. We have a whole show about it now. Schedule here, Monday, Versus, you're watching it. Tuesday, Why Liv Loves Horror. She'll be back tomorrow doing her thing. Wednesday is Aaron Unwinds. He's doing his thing. Thursday is the Why We Love Horror Letterboxd challenge watch-along show. That's cool. Friday, Why We Love Horror trivia. Tons of stuff coming up. Lots of big things. And then Why We Love Horror will drop whenever I feel like it. But until next time, I am JWMaher, and that is Will Cohen, and this has been Versus.